Let me introduce our first keynote speaker, Dr. Mohamed Fayad, from Professor San Jose State University, USA. Dr. Mohamed Fayad is a professor in the Department of Computer Engineering at San Jose State University, San Jose, CA, USA since 2002. He has more than 15 years of industrial experience in addition to 10 years as a software architect in companies such as McDonnell Douglas and Philips Research Laboratory. His reputation has grown by his achievements in the industry. He is also an IEEE distinguished speaker, an associate editor, editorial advisor, a columnist for many international journals, including the well-known Communications of the ACM. He is a well-known and recognized authority in the domain of theory and applications of software engineering. His publications are the very core archival journals and conferences in the field of software engineering. I welcome you, sir. Please take on.
Thank you. Should I start right now? I'm here. I hope everybody doing very well. Before I start, I want to thank everybody in this conference for inviting me. And I would like to thank all of you for attending my talk. I did post quite a bit of columns and articles and abstracts for you to look at it. In fact, I included also something about me. So let me get to the talk right away, because again, we have a lot to talk about. The whole entire idea of building any system is abstraction. And abstraction, unfortunately, we don't have the right abstraction tools and techniques. Most of the techniques there, they say, read the document, extract the nouns, and actually, good luck. That's what the whole entire idea is. This is no good, by the way. And actually, we end up with systems has a lot of things that change over time. Therefore, we need actually to overcome that problem by itself. So in general, abstraction, if you do a wrong abstraction means, and mostly you do a wrong abstraction. Any tool exists, any software system exists. You have a huge disadvantage because of the abstraction itself. So you end up with wrong abstraction. You end up with wrong analysis. You end up with maintenance nightmares and legacy systems. You also not really accomplish reuse. Reuse in software engineering or any technology, it just, it's just something they talk about. They enjoy talking about it, but accomplish them is not very easy. There is no way you could really generate function and non-functional requirement. And this is actually very, very important to build any system. Without requirement, you are really dealing with issues. It doesn't really add value to your system. So to the end, there's a lot of things that there is nobody knows how to do requirement. There is a lot of conference on computing engineering, requirement engineering, a lot of conference on many different aspects of requirement, but we end up with no requirement, basically. So the other thing too, which is there is no way you could achieve quality factor. We call it non-functional requirements. And actually most of the people now say, let's get rid of this non-functional requirement. You can't, because again, non-functional requirement to most of the people is a set of non-functional requirements which work with all systems. It doesn't make any sense. Therefore, they actually say, because they don't know what to do with this non-functional requirement, ignore it. You cannot ignore the non-functional requirement because non-functional requirement is actually controlling the behavior and the requirement of the system. So you really have to have it. So this is very important. They have, of course, go ahead. I will open the discussion, which is I describe examples for that. So there is no unification. We build one scenario, one system, and this is going on for everything we do. For AI system, for a smart systems, it's the same thing. Every company do their own version of machine learning. And this is really a disaster. We don't know which one is the best, and actually each one they use different algorithms. And this is a problem. Of course, this is what really make a lot of limitations. With this way, we're inventing the wheels. We cannot really keep reinventing the wheels. Yes, I'm trying to tell you the issue with abstraction is very important. Of course, if people claim the system can be adopted. This is nonsense. There is no any system I saw would be self-adopted. Self-customized, nonsense. Unlimited reuse, impossible. All the stuff we hear about is actually scalability. No way. There is no way you could really build with a scalable system and software. This is beyond belief. So, and actually this is one of the problems. When you build a system, you cannot scale. And actually with a small system you can, but again, large system you can't. That means the system out of date. And this is very important for you to know. Now it comes, the certain question I have to answer within the abstract, and please follow me with that abstract because this is very important. In AI arena or AI field and smart system, they really talk about everything but not software. They ignore software completely. For some reason, I have no idea. So we don't even have a unified brain or unified operating system to operate all this beauty we're going to have impact on whole entire societies. And this is very important. So the question, can AI exist without software development? The answer is no. So software in any system I build in was also considered to be the 95% or more of the cost. This is really a major thing. We have more people work on software area in any system I work with than hardware people, than other specialization. Therefore, we really have to start paying attention to software. Now, this is very important and good now. So emphasize with AI and smart system, this is even really, you cannot build any smart system without good software development. So the question is, can software development, AI can really work without software? Impossible. So in my opinion, AI and other system we build is actually application of software. This is my opinion. Call it AI, call it smart system, call it anything you want, it's still software to me. So this is really very important. We have to realize this. Now, there is other questions, and it's all in ideas, it's all AI system people. They think of hardware, they think of different field of knowledge, but not software. Software become the least things to talk about. And of course, there is a lot of environment they build, and this is actually collect the code from everywhere and put it together, is not gonna work. So this is really very important for you to know. The question here was actually the second questions, which is actually very important to really comment on. The second question, which is actually very important there, the major problem building an AI system is actually, we don't really have a very good software. Software as a field is still very, very amateur. It's not really having anything dealing with engineering. And this is really a major problem because we keep reinventing the wheels. And this is impossible. We keep really having system is not going to exist after a few years. So the lifespan of the system is going to be very small. And this is really a problem. So building traditional, building single system for every scenario, it doesn't make any sense. All the robots I saw and I work on and I got involved with was really doing one thing, not one purpose. One purpose means many different things, but actually they do one thing. And this is really a problem. And this is actually spending a lot of money, and robots only do one thing. This is actually like any other machine, it can be able to do that. So the other thing too, traditional software system is not good for building advanced system like AI and a smart system. And actually this is really a big problem. Now the question after that, which is answered, this is AI going to shape, and actually I heard that from other people, going to shape the future of software development? It's impossible. Because again, we don't really have a software development by really the good means. So how you really shape the future for something we don't know? We have a big dilemma of software in general. So this is really a problem. And of course, in this case, we really have to really seek other important things in software. The question number 4, which is actually, I'm going to read it exactly from the abstract. And I'm going to give you examples, and I walk through this example with you. So question number 4, AI is a science of technology based on many different disciplines, and you name a lot of them. They're just every discipline could really be involved in AI. Since a human involvement develop all this discipline is the same thing. So you could really bring psychologists, you could really bring biologists, you could bring medicine people, you could people really dealing with the brain, a lot of people, biology, many different fields. And every field work on their own corner. We don't know anything about each other. So I did work on a system for cancer. And I have to learn a lot, like a lot of enzymes, proteins, and which enzymes really would really cause problems to develop a system. And I got $100,000 for this from the local government to write a big grants for this. So this is really, and actually this was really a lot of work for me. So we cannot shape a way to really everybody could communicate very effectively. We need all the teams to know each other work and actually do it in a very good way. And this is another thing we really know how to accomplish. Now, number 5, which is actually the question, which is actually, if we can really answer that question, we really do a great job. Now, can we specify the functional and non-functional requirement and actually ultimate design and architecture for AI and smart system? The answer is impossible. There is no such a thing. And actually, I hope that people really dealing with labs in AI, they could open the discussion with me with that, because actually what we're doing is actually doing a tangible requirement. And this tangible requirement, anybody can do it. So, and this is really a problem. And this is actually a question really need to have a workshop, a tutorial on it for how to do this. And this is very important. And I do have things like that, by the way. So if you do a good abstraction, which is I have my way of doing that, and I would really present it with examples, you have a lot of benefit you could read from my abstract. And this benefit, I could describe it with examples. So you notice I have an abstract about teams I build in all over the world. And I have 3 teams now in Egypt. I have 1 team in Algeria, and this is belong to my company. Those teams, I go through 4 stages. The first stage, I have to learn and teach them the skills required to build such a system. And every concept I have classification for those concepts. I have 3 classifications. 1, which is actually, we call it EBT. I did attach 4 columns for you to read. Those 4 columns published close to about 16 years ago. And another one, this is actually the EBT would be continuous and stable, never changed. So those concepts, they never change. Unfortunately, I'm going to talk about that because, again, we don't even know this concept very well. We don't even understand it. So the other part, which is we call it business object, which is business object accomplish the enduring business theme. Enduring business seems like goals. So in this case, which is we develop now, a lot of stuff based on this. Every concept have functional requirement. Every concept has behavior. Every concept has quality factor, very unique quality factors. Every concept has unique responsibility. 1, every concept will probably have goals. Some of the concepts have goals, especially BO. The BO accomplished the goal, was accomplished the ABT. And I will go and show an example like this. I put PowerPoint notes on for you to see. I listed some of the concept there. And actually those concepts, by the way, I will talk about them. Also, you could really generate many different things about every concept. Every concept associated with a different aspect. So concept have aspect in business, concept have aspect in technology, concept aspect in human life or humanity, So this is very important to understand this concept. So the concept considered to be a treasure. Those concepts are concepts, not tangible things. So the same things I could apply to tangible things, but tangible things are the leaf. What I'm trying to build, I built something called a core knowledge from EBTs and BOs. This is machine independent completely. And you could build on top of it as many examples as you wish, as many scenarios as you wish. So we take in, for example, the concept project, because we all doing project, correct? So project is actually fall into category of business option. So many people will try to, we do have research on the goal of a project. The ultimate goal of the project, not a lot of people know. So this is to create things nobody done before. And this is very important for you to know. If you work on any project, you must know the ultimate goal of that project. And the question there, is this enough? No, but you know the goal for it. So I could explain to you what happens if you know the goal. Most of the countries, most of the people, most of the organization, they do building system without understanding the ultimate goal of a project. And this is actually a problem. Then we have something called the impact of this ultimate, the goal itself. So the goal of any project, people might really get into discussion. It would be very interesting discussion. I ask this question, people say for revenue, for, for education, for growth, you keep going. We found out close to more than 100 goals for any project. This is impossible because again, this is not any project. So the project you want to build is actually the ultimate goal for it is a need. So don't do any project unless we need it, unless all the entire community need it. What you're doing when you build the project, and actually been emphasized on this would be very successful if everybody needed it. If you build the project nobody needs, there is no value. And this is the goal. Well, my student asked me, well, now we try to write the impact. So the impact will show the benefit if you follow that goal. Still the question exists. Well, how do I determine that with that goal for any project? This is very important. Not only that, so we could really make sure people would understand to do decision makers, be able to do strategy, be able to do a lot of stuff when they work on a project. A lot of project would comes out of that. The funny things too, we find out there is after the fact. You could really build a project we all need to do, but we end up with certain bad impacts or maybe major disaster impacts. For example, you start build high-rise inside the city, so the city would really completely be crowded. You cannot even handle it. So you really have to plan very well. So that goal, you have to plan with it very well. Otherwise, you're going to end up with build something very, very fantastic, but you're going to end up with a lot of problems. That's the goal. So you agree with me that the building a project, I must really have a need for it to build it. Otherwise, there is no value. So this is the same time the project also has certain quality factors. So those quality factors for any concept, I'm going to give you other concept, at least we kind of really get insight. The quality factor as it exists in technology and everywhere in any system, we call it non-functional requirement. This non-functional requirement is a puzzle. Nobody knows how to do it. We know how to do the non-functional requirement. So, and every concept has unique non-functional requirement. So if I really talk to you about debate. So debate is actually one of the concepts which is fall into the category of business object. Now, what's the goal of debate? A lot of people actually, what again?
Yes.
Are you with me? Is this a question? Do I have a question? Do I have a question? No. So the goal of debates, actually, a lot of people do not know what the goal of debate. There is a lot of concept, many, all the concept, we don't know the ultimate goal for it. So many people, when I say debate, they say, well, I'm really seeing the issues. This is not a goal. The goal has to be enduring. I try to involve with the issue, not involved with the issues. There is a lot of people say different things is not the goal of the debate. The only word and actually concept for the goal for debate is understanding. You sit down and actually you don't really get involved with the debate. You are really, the debate is made for you. So you try to understand the issues. So in this case, also debate, to really see a good debate, you have to measure it with quality factor. So I'm gonna tell you what's quality factor. Quality factor, you could really be able to have positive. Every concept in the dictionary every concept has a positive quality factors, even bad concepts, by the way. And I will share with some concept with you about that. What we understand is bad, it's not bad. So because concept in the dictionary means something we deal with it every day in our life, in our technology, you see? So this is, we have to determine what's the quality factor of that things, at least we know how to measure it. This is again measurement, how to describe it. You could describe any concept by understanding the quality factor for that. And this is sort of a big dilemma for every concept in any field that has many definitions. And those definitions not complete. Those definition has contradictions. So therefore, really we have to do that. The other things that could really be evaluate and assess the concept. This is very important for me to know. I could measure it and also I could brand the concept, any concept. This is all unique stuff. Nobody knows how to do it. And this is actually skills we're building right now. So if I take, for example, I take a very good word, proposal. We all write proposals. And actually, in the United States here, we do anything, we have to write proposals. Proposals, as you know, has a goal, ultimate goal. So the proposal to describe to you, people actually make a movie. That's a proposal for people to see. People ask somebody out. People go and get married. There's a proposal. This is art. Now, writing a proposal for fun, but a proposal for research. Each proposal has only the same goal for any proposal you do. And we have to understand that goal very well. So most of the people, they say, I do proposal for research, I do proposal to get some money, I do proposal to really keep myself busy. So no, the proposal, the goal for it is actually acceptance. You have to get accepted. So you really have to make sure in your life, when you do a proposal, in your dealing and willing, you have to get accepted. You have to work very hard to get accepted. Otherwise, you write a proposal for many, many months, how many years, and you get rejected. It doesn't make any sense. So this is actually giving you a way of living too, by the way. So the proposal has four exact quality factors. When you write proposal, you have to involve the quality factors. One, you could really, as I told you, I could describe positive stuff about the proposal I do, and I could really measure it. I could really evaluate it. I could assess it. I could branding. There's a lot of stuff you could offer with this quality factors, you see? So what's the quality factor of any proposal? That's a good question. A lot of people don't know them. So when we now in our teams, we're writing a lot of proposals because the big factors in our team for any proposal to write those quality factors. Quality factor would provide us close to 80% of the proposal, you see? So try to really see that. So when I do a proposal, I have to really work on this quality factor to really do a good proposal. So the proposal there, the proposal has to be convincing. That's really quality factors. The proposal has to be focused. You cannot rewrite a proposal and go far and left and many different directions. The proposal has to be practical. You can be able to be done. Don't write a proposal, people would laugh at it. And I saw this in my reviews in many different agencies in the United States. So, and then you get approved. You have to. So approval is actually the fourth one. So Sometimes the United States, they would really accept it. Sometimes they accept it because, again, they do rank all the proposal. They get all the money done, so they end up with a proposal being accepted. They don't have money. They told you not approved. Try next year. So you work very hard for many months to really try to get this proposal, the money for this proposal. It got accepted, like what you did, but again, there is no approval. And why this is quality factor is very important for any concept. Makes sense? So you really have to do this for any proposal you do. This is a quality factor you have to do. Not this specific quality, this is actually an example. This is a criteria or a quality factor related to a proposal. But when you write something, for example, data analysis has quality factors. And this quality factor, data has quality factor, analysis have quality factor. Then data analysis has different quality factors. You see? So when we write something about data analysis, which is very important, data analysis exists everywhere. You really have to really make sure you understand the quality factors, because this quality factor, you would be able, you could really create a goal for data analysis. It would be a super goal of data and analysis. We take data. I have a diagram into your system there. What's really the goal of data? And this is a question I have to ask, because when I understand the goal, I understand the requirement. I start the requirement. If I don't really have that goal, I would not come up with a requirement for data. Then the other question is, I'm sure all of you are actually dealing with analysis. So what's actually the ultimate goal of analysis? Anybody knows? Because again, if you don't really know that ultimate goal, you're not doing analysis, and most of the analysis fail. When you really doesn't know the data, the goal of data, all the data, we have a lot of data, doesn't mean anything. So in the opening of this conference, they've been introduced the data, and this is the major of this conference. Data is very, very important. So I have to understand what's really the goal of the data, what's the quality factor of the data. So I could really prepare the data I need. Most of the people who study databases, they build the static data. There is no such a thing called dynamic data. And this data has a lot of noise, have a lot of problem. And when they model that data, they don't really model it very well. So there is way to overcome, and actually we do normalization, you do over normalization, but the data is still that, it's still no value. So the idea is I have to understand that. So the question here, what's really the goal of data? In machine learning, we have problem. For example, you write algorithm, but you don't understand the requirement. So it end up with overflow. It end up with, data leakage. What's data leakage? What's the requirement for data leakage? At least I could deal with it. If I don't have the requirement for overflow and data leakage, and other problem exists with machine learning, I would not know how to deal with it. You see, this is very important. And actually would open the possibility for you to write a lot of proposal and get funded by understanding what I'm doing. This is actually the case. I would provide you with all the data you need. So as much as I can. So the idea is, let's go into data. What's really the goal of data? The goal of data is very important, because if you know the goal of data means you know the data, the right data to deal with. Yes, we have a lot of data everywhere. We need to utilize it. We need to capitalize on it. But again, how would I know this is the right data? So this is very important to answer that. There is an ultimate goal for every concept. I'm doing analysis. What's the ultimate goal of analysis? Maybe I could ask you to answer that question. I'm not trying to test you. I'm trying to get you to understand what I'm talking about. Is anybody who actually data analysis? If you read the brochure for that conference, you will find the word data and analysis all over the place. I did. So when you do machine learning, you do data analysis. You do content analysis, actually. We didn't even touch on that. Content means you do a video analysis, you do a frame analysis, you do a lot of analysis. We actually limit ourselves to data only. No. we really have to actually expand our activity in data science about content. So in fact, it's supposed to be called content analysis, because everybody knows how to do the existing data analysis, which is not really true, to be honest with you. So the idea is you really have to create that magnificent requirement for everything you do. So we'll come back to what's the purpose of data and what's the goal of data and the goal of analysis. And I will come up, I could combine both of them as a goal, or I could really come up with a sober goal for them. So I could really have in my architecture 2 goals, one for data and one for analysis. I could really replace them with a sober goal for data analysis. And actually this is required a lot of research, a lot of thinking. So what we're doing there is all new stuff. It's gonna help in every aspect of our work and our technology. So the simple answer for data is knowledge, and knowledge in this case is power, right away. So the 2 goals are there. Yes, we have 2 goals. And there is some concept have multiple goals, like map. Map, we have a goal for navigation, for recording, for knowledge. And actually, you could add another one for discovery if you wish. Some concept like data has knowledge and power. When you say the word information is power, you mean data is power. And this is really, you must know, because again, we're looking for data because there is a lot of data there that don't have any power, they don't have any knowledge. And this is existing data everywhere. How about analysis? The goal of analysis in this case would really be understanding. When I do analysis, I try to understand any content I'm trying to do. If I don't achieve this understanding, I end up with nothing. So, and this would be the goal of analysis. So this is actually what really I'm trying to share here. Take a concept like, for example, violence. Violence is part of our life. And violence has quality factors, believe it or not. Violence is part of our life every second, every day. Human body interact with many creatures, millions, sometimes billions. And actually inside the body, the same thing. They have good creatures and actually bad creatures inside us, by the way. So in this case, I'm dealing with violence all the time. You get a pain, you get a hot weather is a violence. You get sick is a violence, you know? Violence in this case here has 3 great quality factors. Believe it or not. So in recent reality, between divide the world, divide the human, divide the countries, they say this group has violence, this country has violence. Violence exists everywhere. In fact, in the United States, we have more violence than anywhere else. But violence is not towards human only. Violence is a way to create. By the way, you know, when I went to the nuclear reactors in the United States, the building was really completely dark, very, very, very huge building and very strong. Because to create that thing, it required a lot of power. You could really make that building, a simple building would be broken easily. So violence has great quality factors. I give you an example. Human examples, which is violence actually with nature exists all the time. So we have fires in the forest, we have hurricanes, we have earthquake. That's a form of violence. And in fact, in the United States here, in most of the time violence takes place in that kind of natural violence, they are very happy. I didn't believe it, what these people are. So they look at it, you know, this is a chance for growth. There's a chance we will build in something new. There's a chance for a change. And this is actually the quality factor for violence. Violence make a complete change. Violence make a renewal. Violence, this is not really violence make, I'm just trying to attach it as quality factors. Violence, actually, after you make a complete change and renewal, it actually cause growth. So now we understand the concept very well. So nobody would use this concept to divide the people. There is no need to. Nobody uses this concept to really make discrimination. The human themselves has this sense of violence within them. You have an evil and a good. There is no question about that. You cannot be good. If you are good all the time, you are an angel. There is no way. So the idea of violence exists even within you. So yes, you don't like that concept. Well, some people say every concept in the dictionary have requirements, has behavior, and each one of them is a lot of work. This is only you. And every concept has quality factor. Every concept, some concept has goals. Some concept has responsibility. So we write now books on every concept. So every concept, we could write 2,000 to 3,000 books, archive books. And this is actually to get you to tell you, you could read the benefit of abstraction, but we have a lot of things we're working on in that way. We present things new. People I see in paper, they actually, like they copy from each other. People come from India, and my students, they actually love Agile. There is nobody actually, Agile would kill your project because it has a lot of overhead. There's no way that people create this that don't know anything about software engineering. So the idea is software engineering, and anybody use it too, by the way. Anybody. I have people work with me, they are high school kids. They were doing very well. I have an old Jim, he just studied his degrees in high school. He was competing with his salary with me in a company. It's a very advanced McDonnell Douglas, which is actually make the Phantom, the Tomahawk, the cruise missiles. This is something. The guy was really a guru, you know. So you don't really have to be a programmer. Anybody can be a programmer, but not anybody can be a software engineer. And this is what the entire idea is. So in this case, I'm trying to tell you, you have many possibilities this way. You build a new field of knowledge all the time because the natural language, which has all the concept in it, this is all the knowledge we have. There is nobody create a new knowledge. Even if they create a new knowledge, they create a new concept. And we have to understand this concept very well. So we have a second and somebody create a nanosecond. Who knows, maybe can really come and create a photo nanoseconds and so on, you know. This still every concept, by the way, in this dictionary, there is no any synonymous. You cannot qualify, for example, you cannot qualify love, passion, and admiration. There is no way. They're all different concepts. They're all different concepts with different quality factors. So, and this is very important. So I would be happy to share with you some of the work of my teams. And this comes to tell you something about the team. The teams I have, you have an abstract there, and you have a link. Please run this link and read those stories. This is the first stories from the first team. The story is a little bit fake because again, they don't really know what we are doing. In the beginning, they gather. They love the work. They all really, some of them they never wrote before. Now they're writing books. And we call these teams by their location. So the company is called AITG, and it attaches a team. So we have teams now in 3 countries. One team has one country has 3 teams because I'm from that country. People know me there very well. So the idea is this is a business unit, like you work for yourself. And actually, in this case, I train you on these concepts. There's a lot of concepts I train you on. And you learn how to write very well. So you become a new researcher. The research we are doing now is not helping the societies, is not helping the community. So we need research to help every country, every community need research to help them to grow. We're not going to do research for the sake of research. This is my opinion. So the idea is I teach them how to be a good researcher. So they dig deeper into a lot of issues, which is all new. So like I told you, we could really provide over 2,000 or 3,000 pages per concept. We don't want to do that. We have books now working on 250, 300 pages, and we could add on. So, and you could really have a lot of comparative study with different group of people. Like for example, we have privacy. So we have comparative study with our quality factor with philosophers, with psychologists, with cultures, with religion. This is something human live with. And actually you become, in this case, you become a philosopher when you do that. So I'm telling you data nobody done before. Nobody knows even. So, and this is actually, you could read about the story in this specific teams, and I would welcome you to form teams. You could actually be able, you have my email, so email me. I have 2 emails, one.sjsu.edu, and in the PowerPoint presentation, I added another email, which is my own email. And the story link is actually on presentation, is also on another abstract to show you what's really the value of what you're doing. So there are 4 stages. The first stage, I train on knowledge and writing and learn how to be a researcher. And it turned out to be very fruitful. So the second stage, we're writing proposal for funding. We don't have a proposal less than $1 million. In the United States, I could really write a course on software engineering, but it has a niche in it. I could get $1 million plus in the United States. I don't know what happened in other countries. There is, now with the third stage, we're building a global project. The global project is gonna be run from the United States, but the team is gonna control. So every team I develop, they're gonna hire people. We have teams now hiring people already, you see? So this is what the whole entire idea is. We build the skills and new skills, completely new skills for how to come up with a goal, how to do quality factors for any project, for any concept, how to really write a non-functional and functional requirement, how to write, how to really come up with behavior. This stuff we have to understand very well. So understanding the concept, I will be able to deal with it in all aspects of life. If I'm writing stories, novels, technical, I understand how to use this concept very well. If I understand those values, and this is what Hunter I need. And actually, there is another thing that I posted for you. We're doing a theme issue, and actually I would like to invite you, and please email me if you are willing. You see the description, and this is a new update for it. I'm gonna send the link for anybody interested. I'm doing a special issue for advancement in software architectures. And actually, I want to mention something about this. You cannot build any system without good architectures. And actually, in our way, you build the architecture, we call it architecture on demand. We don't have to really reinvent the wheels, and this unified. So, for example, if I build an engine, I could build on top of engine as many applications as I wish, as many scenarios as I wish. So we really have the call for papers is not out yet. We're just trying to prepare the proposal, and we're gonna collect papers and actually calling for papers on March 1st, and we're gonna kind of really try to give an advancement for people. I'm sorry I say this advertisement, I don't mean to, but I would like to see as many people really participate in this. If you are involved in any field of AI, smart system, data analysis, you have to do architectures. And most of the will then be attention to this. And all the architecture exists, they're actually for a special point of view. There's not even a special purpose. So the idea of not a special goal. So the idea is we need really to start building the right architecture. Architecture with no requirement is nothing. With no ultimate design, they tell you, you chose a design. You chose the ultimate design yourself. This is a big joke. Because again, there is many people have many different designs. A solution is many solutions. You choose a solution and end up in the wrong place. And actually you think you thought about it very well. You did your job. but the end up is not the right solution. So the idea is we really have to guide you. If you write the requirement very well and you come up with the right requirement, you come up with the right solution. In this case would be the design and architectures. I am done unless you want to ask me any questions, and I would love to take questions. I'm here. I hope you enjoyed the talk, so I'm looking for questions. Please shoot at me. But really don't shoot at very strong bullets, you know. I mean, I'm listening. Anybody? Hello? Anybody wanna give me have a question to ask me? You have to turn your speaker on, because again, you mute your speaker. I saw all the speakers are muted here. So if you really have any questions, let me know. I'm open. I also encourage you to really participate, to really build the teams, or maybe a group of people you would really enjoy it a lot. Plus you learn a lot too, by the way. You learn things you never heard before and things you deal with it every day. But do we understand it? No, unfortunately. I hope I provide something for you, benefit you. I'm very happy I visit with all of you. And please keep in touch. And I'm really open for any discussion, any questions. And I want to thank everybody for inviting me for this neat conference. And I am very happy to be with you. Thank you, and have a good night. Have a good day. We're at night now, so we're actually at 11 o'clock in the evening. So I know you are an early morning there. So enjoy your day and enjoy the conference. And we'll try to attend another session in the conference before I go. When I wake up, if really things going on, I will watch. And next night, I'm going to do that. I don't know this conference for 2 days. So you will see me within, stop by in a break and talk to me. That's fine. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And please have a great conference and a great enjoyment and discussion. And you have a good day. Bye. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fayad,
You're
for your
welcome.
wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Like participants enjoyed the discussion with you, and I hope they will get back to you for their clarifications if they have any.
By all means. Sure.
Thank you for your very insightful advices at the end of the session that how research
Yes.
should be. So research should be open to all. Research should be explorable by all, and it should make some value to everyone involved. And that are very key points that you mentioned. And also anything do it with a passion. So I think it applies to everyone in even in their personal lives. So don't do anything for the sake of doing it. If you have a passion, you'll be an excellent person in that.
Indeed.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being with us. I like we have.
I will be here for the next talk. Thank you.
PM, so we are very sorry about that, but thank you for being kind enough and
thank you
from your sleeping time. So have a nice day. Have a nice day's sleep. And thank you so much.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.